therapscene.com. I am Frank5D, the anomaly sworn solemnly high snobbity. Right now we got Jay. That's just
What
kind of
up? What up, though? What up?
it's pretty ambiguous, Jay. A lot of people don't know that you are, dude who makes the rap scene go round. Besides me,
Exactly.
team that
What up,
I guess
Frank?
glues everything together. Should I say?
Yeah.
So what's up, man? We just want to get your you don't make an appearance too much, so we want to get your this is crazy talking to you like this. I just want to get your opinions, on
Sure,
some of the
sure.
things that are going on that we're talking about in one way or another. So let's get it. Number one on the list, of course, is Slime.
Is he out yet? He's already out, right? Yeah, he's out.
He's a free
I
man.
think he just did a FaceTime with Ti. Not
Yeah.
right. Yeah. He's out.
He's posting on social media. He's requesting collabs with the little baby.
Yeah.
What you think about his release?
Man, you know what? It's kind of I'm a little 50-50 on it. And the reason why is like, yeah, it's I'm happy he's free. Which is a beautiful thing. He get to go, be with his family for the holidays. But on the second hand, the stipulations like 15-year probation, like you can't come to Atlanta.
That sounds crazy. That sounds
So it's almost setting him up to fail. You can't be around certain people. What else? I don't have the list of stipulations in front of me. But yeah, it's pretty much, and he's still young, so he can't do certain things in videos or make certain songs or certain references.
Well, we here. Let's see what to know about his plea. We got an AP article up. Arrested.
Okay. All right.
The trial took forever. Let's see who we got. It was Young Thug. We know who he is. What is he accused of? How did the plea come about? Will he spend time in prison? No. Fulton rather gave him a sentence of 40 years. First 5 years he was served in prison, but that was commuted to time served, and then he has 15 on probation.
Yeah, that's a long time to be on probation, man. You know what I mean?
Backloaded 20 years in prison will be commuted time service if he complies with all the conditions of his probation. If he doesn't flee, of course, he'll go serve.
Yeah, so it's like it's damn near. It's like you pretty much set up for him to fail, though.
Here we go. We got here it is. What are the conditions of his sentence? He must stay away from the metro Atlanta area as defined by the census. So, the metro Atlanta area for the first 10 years of his probation, except for weddings, funerals, graduations, or serious illness of an immediate family member. He can arrive 24 hours before the event and must leave within 48 hours after. So basically he can't be in Atlanta. But he must also return to Atlanta area 4 times each year, during each year of his probation to make an anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation at a grade school. He should have been doing that anyway, honestly. If instead of throwing up gang signs and being in a gang, and get RICO charges, he should have been doing shit like that. Middle school or high school, or an organization like the Boys and Girls Club. Those visits can count towards the hundreds of hours of community service that he also has during each year of his probation. So 100 hours community service each year, that's not bad. Anybody can do that.
Right.
Well, let me not say anybody, but anybody should be able to do that. He can also not knowingly have any contact with a gang member, a criminal street gang. Judge said that includes other people named in the indictment, with the exception of his brother and the rapper Gunna, with whom he has contractual obligations. There was a big story about him requesting to make music, still be able to make music with Gunna. And who knows if that's going to happen, but it probably will. He cannot participate in any criminal street activity or promote any gang, including through hand signs. What about tattoos? He must remove his tattoos.
I don't know, Frank, but it's ridiculous, though.
One last thing they have to say is he also can't contact the victims in the case or their families, may not own a gun, may not use drugs other than those prescribed to him, must submit to random drug tests, and must allow searches of his property and electronics.
Yeah.
I mean, so that is a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And sentenced to.
Especially for him being so young. So of course, him being so young, you're gonna make mistakes. He's gonna make mistakes. But it's like that one mistake can land you back in jail and you serving that 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's that's why I'm saying I'm kind of 50-50 on it. You know,
Yeah. I mean, you do the crime, or you.
you
I
do
mean,
the
he's
time, huh?
saying he did the crime, like,
That's
and
how you feel, Frank.
in kind of what, kind of, And now that gets fuzzy, of course, when we talk about this judicial system that we live under. When you
Yeah,
do these crimes, because we're not always sentenced proportionately, or accordingly, or evenly, or what I'm trying to
right,
say.
right.
But I mean, shit, why do people just have this on us hubris? Like, how can you just really openly be from a gang and act like you're from a gang, and I don't know, fantasize and just be? Everything he did was gang member activity.
Right, right,
Outside of the crimes is what I'm
right,
talking about.
right.
All the fucking shit that they do, he did it. He does it. Like, so
Yeah,
don't tell me that you're not. And again, don't try to pull that bullshit once you have to face the consequences of that shit. It's
right.
slime for life, ain't it? Isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
it obviously still is. He gonna try and tiptoe his way around that bullshit because people know how to do it now. Because our goddamn leader, or one of our recent leaders, who just may be our leader again, is drip bleeding that shit into our brain. Not to mention social media and how they just promote everybody's fascination with this shit. He's a fucking gang member.
yeah,
Tell me no different,
yeah,
honestly. And he
yeah.
got off straight up and down with a plea deal. He's on probation. No, he didn't get off. Of course, he
Yeah,
didn't beat a Rico, but
right.
he's out of jail, and that's
Yeah,
the main fucking point of things. They're not calling him a snitch. They're saying he pled guilty. We're gonna hear
right.
about it in his rhymes. Like,
Yeah. So that's
I think, but I was serious when he should have been doing like some type of gang prevention shit
right. I agree.
instead of being from a gang.
Right, right. He had to, at least have some type of balance. Have some type of balance. I understand, you young thug, you out here living that life, but at the same time, they kind of, have that balance. You know what I mean? Where you are actually, and I'm not, and I can't say that he wasn't. He probably was doing things behind the scenes that we didn't really see. I'm sure he probably was doing charities, turkey drives, all sorts of things that get publicized by the media. You know what I mean? So, but I hear where you coming from. The message you putting out in the music. And you actually live in that. So it's like when you do get caught up, take that. Don't cry about it. And I don't think he necessarily was crying about it. I think he was, willing to do the time, but he got opportunity. Based on his attorneys, lawyers, who did a really good job, and he was able to get out. But again, though, it's still 15 years probation, so you still locked up in some sort, even though you are free to roam around,
Right.
to an extent.
I also think it's good that he's out of jail. I don't ever want to see anybody who's that influential just be locked up like that. Again, if you did the crime, then you should be doing some time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
The,
agree.
the things he was accused of, they're pretty damn heinous. So we're not just gonna be like, oh, if he yo, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between pleading guilty and taking a plea deal in this case right here? There's a lot of
It's
people.
pretty much the same thing, right? It's the
A
same
lot
thing.
of people gave Gunna shit for it. They still give him shit. They call him a rat. They just say all that type of shit. Or whether he had the offer plea where like they can call him back in, but I don't know. But
Yeah.
the trial was a shit show to begin with for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I don't. That's another reason why I think it's good that it feels like he got some justice there or something. Because the case, it just seemed like bullshit.
I'm just glad the case is over with. I'm just glad the trial is over with.
Word up.
You know what I mean? But then,
What about him reaching out to Lil Baby or to do a feature?
that was he was going to do that. That was a no-brainer. You got to understand. Young Thug was very influential in Lil Baby's career at an early in the early times of Lil Baby's career. You know what I mean? So of course, and they was close, and they still close. And Lil Baby still at the top of the game. for us in his career. So it only makes sense for him to reach out, to Lil Baby and hop on a song with him. So I knew that was going to happen. And some
Well, that he was one of the main people, going at Gunna for being a rat.
Yeah,
They're still collaborating. Him and Thug. Is that gonna be a thing?
What you mean, Young Thug and Gunner?
Yeah, I mean, like, if they're going to be collaborating, how's that gonna work out? With Lil Baby
Well,
collaborating with
that
Thug.
might just be for just strictly business, because he is a YSL artist. Technically, he's still an artist. He's still a signed artist. So, and I'm sure they have a contract with each other, right? So he still got to fulfill his artist, duties, his obligation.
So is that written into these contracts that he has to collab with one of his artists? Isn't
you talking about for the stipulation for with his plea deal?
No, I'm talking about like in the contract of Gunna being a YSL artist. Thug is the leader of Thug is the head of YSL, right?
Yes.
So Gunna would be signed to Thug, yes.
Yes, he'll sign a Thug.
So where is that like built? Is that standard to be like in a contract? He does not have to collab with his artists.
No,
a lot of people who sign these artists don't do anything for him or with him. Why would he have to collab with him?
No, he don't have to.
Where would that be a contractual obligation?
No, he don't have to collab with Gunner. He don't have to collab with Gunner.
But he for sure will.
That from what they said in court or whatever, I guess there will be a collaboration with Gunner. But I'm thinking that may be just from a business standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't know if technically they're going to be as close as they were before. Like I say, he's contractually still signed to YSL. So from Thug perspective, it may be a business move for him.
He's been hot since he got out. Gunna. He's been hot.
He has.
There's no reason for Thug to not collab with him if he wants to get his music on the fast track right back. Not like anybody.
That's what I'm saying. From a business standpoint, it may make sense for Young Thug to still get on songs with him and do collab projects. So from a business standpoint, but personally, their relationship may not be the same. We don't know. Well,
shout out to them, man. It's good to see that he's able to get back to doing what he wanted to do.
Exactly.
Otherwise, they'll welcome home Thug, I guess. I wanted to ask you about this, and I was going to text you about it, but I didn't. Did you listen to the Chromakopia? What do you think about Tyler's new album?
I didn't. I heard about it, but I didn't get a chance to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, I listened to it. He's one of my favorite artists. What's your
thoughts on it?
It's pretty dope. Honestly, it's in the same vein. It sounds like a couple of his last projects had a baby. Like it sounds like Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost, like meshed up. It sounds like all the records could have came from either of those albums.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. It's dope. Like again, Tyler. A lot of people made a big deal about the rollout. But the rollout, I think, isn't as big as the theming. I think people are like kind of conflating the two, like the theming and everything, and just the idea and the colorways and the Pantones and the identity of that he takes, when he does these projects and goes really deep and releases himself upon us. Like that sounds disgusting. I don't do the pause game, but shit. But he shares so much of himself with us, and he definitely does that in the album. And again, in the same vein, like he did on Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost. But I think it was a bad idea, or not a bad idea, but I think he could have done something else to lead off with instead of Noid. Noid was the first single. I think he could have probably had a better single than that. I'm not sure what it would be, but like Tyler. Do you fuck with Tyler?
Not really.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. I think he had a few songs I was maybe was cool with or whatever, or actually kind of like, but I never like really been a big fan of Tyler the Creator. You know what I mean? But I've heard about the new project though, but I haven't had a chance to really check it out yet though.
Yeah, I used to, where I grew up, I used to be on Fairfax all the time, and
Okay.
at one point in my life,
Mm.
and yeah, I never saw him, but I saw a lot of the Odd Future,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah,
so
yeah. They was
that
out.
really made me check them out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
while I wasn't a huge fan of them, I
Mm.
always thought Tyler was dope. He had the dopest videos. He rapped on some of the dopest beats. And let me take that back. Earl fucking Sweatshirt was dope. I heard Haji fucking killed a mic before.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not, I never thought they were whack. They just
Yeah,
it,
they was definitely,
unique and
they was
brash,
definitely unique.
should I say?
They was definitely unique and eclectic. You know.
And wild and honestly, like how they were, like their persona was that they put out. You
Hmm.
see them acting like that over there on the corner, or
Hmm.
at Fairfax High, like
Yeah,
in the parking lot right there.
yeah.
Um,
They definitely gonna go down as one of them groups that really, you know how like in LA they have them, groups like the Far Side. Um, damn, what's some of the other groups out here in LA? They kind of had that same type of vibe. Even like the hieroglyphics, but they from Northern Cal though.
yeah.
But they definitely going to be in. As time go on, they're going to fit in as one of those groups. Um, and some people call it the backpack rap, that sort of thing. But they got a core fan base though, so you can't deny that.
Yeah.
They're gonna put on a show and it's gonna sell out. They had that core audience.
But when you get a
So,
chance, though, man, go listen to the Chromacopia.
all right,
It's
I'll
pretty
check it
dope,
out.
honestly. It's nothing less than what was expected.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
one of the best
I'll definitely
albums
check it
of
out.
this year. People are trying to call it the best. It just debuted number one,
Yeah.
as we can see from this Billboard article,
Okay.
um, which knocked off, what does it say? I forget. Says something here, but yeah, of course. The videos are always dope. Where he got the chick running up on him with the camera with the phone, but it switched to the gun real quick, and she's just like fanatically crazy, and it's kind of dope. But it's speaking themes of like he's scared to live the life that he's been telling us that he lives for the last three albums. Like,
Okay.
so what I guess what Dogtooth was, this doesn't feel like he feels.
Right, right, right.
Um,
Okay. Yeah.
but
All
straight
right.
up
So
and down, man. Wow. Let's take a minute to say rest in peace to Quincy Jones.
yeah, man, that was a yeah. I found out about his passing this morning actually.
Yeah.
My phone that went off, and I didn't believe it at first. I forgot what it was. I was looking at something on my phone, and you get these random ads that pop up, and a lot of times it be fake, because that shit comes up random a lot on my phone, and then when I seen like other platforms posting on it, I was like, oh okay, this actually is real, But he died when at 93, was it 91? When did he die? What age was he?
91.
91. Yeah, 91. So he lived a full life. He lived a
Uh,
full life.
one hell of a life too.
He lived a full
Like,
life. Yes, I definitely, a very interesting life. It's amazing that, and a lot of people don't know that. Some of the artists he was responsible for discovering.
exactly.
The songs that he produced that are now, legendary songs. So, he's definitely a legend. Definitely a legend.
If you like black music, you have been touched
Yeah,
by Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones. For the people that think Dr. Dre and is one of the ones, and who we got now, like the Metro Booms, and he was that guy in that time, in the era he was coming up with. Quincy Jones is one of them guys, especially as a producer.
Check
So
out a small list of awards and honors that Wikipedia has on them. We got
yeah.
honorary doctorate of music from Berklee College of Music in 1983, Golden Plate Award of the American Academy of Achievement, we had an Arts Council by Ray Charles, Grammy Legend Award, one of only 15 people to ever receive it. Third in the list of all-time Grammy wins. We hear that right. Third in the list of all-time.
Of all time, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's just crazy. Garfield High School, Performing Arts Center named after him. That's dope. A lot of people like to do that. Quincy Jones Elementary School, located in South Central, is named after him. John F. Kennedy Center honors National Medal of Arts presented by Barack Obama, who was still president at the time. Honorary doctor from the Royal Academy of Music in London. And in 2021, he was inducted to the Black Music Entertainment Walk of Fame as a foundational inductee. Look at this filmography right here. That's just crazy. A few acting credits. Pretty dope, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Quincy Jones, man. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely one of those controversial figures in the culture.
Yeah, and
that
just knowing how big of a role he played in Michael Jackson's life, you know what I mean, and how he made him a star, So yeah, he was definitely one of the ones, who's very special, especially in Black music. In music, period. I don't want to just say Black music, but just in music, period. So, rest in peace to him, though. Yeah.
I thought this was dope right here. Beanie Siegel, Killer. Excuse me. Pushing.
I didn't know about Killer this. Mike, okay.
Ice for Bezo, registering voters.
Yeah.
Killer Mike specifically said he was going to vote the last 2 days to voter registration and get people out. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, my son is always in the mix. We got A&R Wayno. Shout out to Wayno. And it's pretty dope. I think that how Killer Mike is always putting his name on things that people need to actually be paying attention to.
Yeah. Okay.
Up,
Yeah, but it's going. You know what? This is definitely going. This is an interesting election. So it's going to be interesting to see who our next president is going to be. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of back and forth. Especially at these rallies and things like that. So, and then you have a lot of artists, a lot of hip-hop artists, getting behind too. Some are voting for Trump, and you have a lot of hip-hop artists that's voting for, Kamala as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, and who's the winner at the end of the day. So I pretty much got my popcorn. I'm gonna sit back and watch the show.
Hey man, get out there and do your part too.
Of course. Yeah. Exactly.
They said that they took Diddy's key to Miami Beach away.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Should he even have had it in the first place? I mean, but I guess if everything is true, I think it's apropos. This is what the city of Miami Beach has to do.
So they had it's protocol, huh? Because New York did it first. New York took back their key first. I think it was Howard. They took back their award, and now Miami.
And even if they didn't, they'll just be looked at as the only city that didn't revoke, his key to the city.
Yeah. Of course. It's at the end of the day, it's politics. At the end of the day.
They give you a whole plaque with a symbolic key. Do you have to give that back?
Yeah, I think you have to give that back.
How they gonna make you get that back? You guys Indian give it, man. You get it too. I don't care if I think that's you
you have to get that back. Yeah, you have to get that back. To my knowledge, you have to get that key back.
Honestly, if they ask for it back, I'd be like, here,
yeah. So I'm not surprised though. I'm not surprised. What do you think about the whole incident with with his Diddy's boys, his sons, and Ray J? That whole
I did hear about that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I didn't look into it too much, but I did hear somebody talking about Whack 100 talking about it. And that immediately was like, hold on, maybe I should dig into it. But I didn't really look it up. But it was talking about how basically it was just like, yo, why do you want to fuck with Ray J? It was something about how he be Sean Combs' son. I
Yeah.
forget, Christian or one of the two, how they be flirting with the gangster shit, talking about they GDK and all this and whatnot, and then they got pressed and was actually, had the post logo. I'm not a gangster, like I'm not
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
that.
remember that. Yeah.
And but now you back out like you're trying to be gangster. Like and it just sounded weird. Like Ray J has those connections, Ray J has been known to get down, like So is they talking about okay, that's what he was saying, because apparently Chris Brown broke it up, and
Yeah.
like both of them have ties. Like he really ain't, like he wasn't trying to save Ray J, like he was trying to save y'all, like, and that sounds like something Whack 100 would say. But
yeah, I ain't really yeah, whenever that guy talks about, like, I just it's completely nonsense. You know what I mean? Yeah, but when I heard about it or whatever, it was kind of shocking. And I know and I think he said like 8 of them tried to approach him or something like that, but it didn't actually turn physical. It was just a lot of back and forth, shoving and things like that. And I'm not saying,
remember back in the day when it would be a fight and they do the shoulder,
the
shoulder thing, it was that.
Pushing each other and things like that, but no swing was ever thrown or nothing like that. And I think, in my opinion, I think they were just defending their dad's honor. You know what I mean? So it had to been something like, I think Ray J was on one of these podcasts or shows or something like that, and
he was on his show, his new show. What is it?
Okay.
The His Time or the thing is, I forget.
And I think he made a comment or something about the baby oil or something like that, from what I was told. And I just think, they's probably defending their dad's honor. That's all. But Ray J got to look at me. These are young boys. You know what I mean? Like they like his little brothers.
Yeah.
So trying to pick a fight with them is hilarious.
Well, they wasn't trying to pick a fight. If they was trying to pick a fight with Ray J.
Even entertaining, even entertaining a fight with them is hilarious, because it's like, y'all like my little sons, y'all like my little brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, again, I'm a little ignorant about the situation, but like, ain't no 8 people gonna approach me and be on me. I don't give a fuck how what y'all think y'all about to do to me? Like what?
Yeah.
And I mean, they young, but who are these other 6 people who are there? Like, and they young, but I mean,
but I'm just saying, but you
8 of them could probably take Ray J.
That even in itself was letting you know them boys ain't really like that. They don't, if you got to have 8 men or 7 other guys with you to fight one person, you're not built like that. You're not. So if I'm Ray J, I'm like, this is laughable. I know you guys are scared, so why would I even entertain it? I don't get no cool points, fighting you all. I don't. So
shout out to Ray J too, man. Ray J is a national treasure, yo. Honestly, dude. I shot one of Ray J's birthday parties before. He was there with Princess that night. Shout out to the wonderful Dr. Deion Washington, who's given me so many opportunities. But she's connected with their family through Compton, and so it got me to shoot the party, and it was pretty dope. I remember one day I was in Chic on Hollywood Boulevard, and Ray J busted in by himself. He had like a couple people following him in, but he busted in. He was like, "Hey man," he was like, "What's up, y'all?" Like it was a TV show or something, honestly. But there were no cameras, and he just came right up to me. He was like, "Yeah, how I get the scooty bike in here?" And I knew who he was, but it was just crazy to me. Like he thought I worked there. I was just like, yo, bro, like I don't work here. Like, I felt like he should have known that or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I was like, I don't work here. And he immediately just turned off. Like, hey, man, what's up with the scooty bike? We're trying to get the scooty bike. Like, Ray J's jokes.
Yeah. Nah, he just being himself. He's a great salesman. I give him that. But yeah, he just being himself. But
man, Ray J had one of the dopest, I Stole Your Girl records ever, man. He got that classic. I hit it first.
Yeah. So I'm glad a fight didn't break out. But yeah, if I was Ray J, I wouldn't even entertain it. You know, that's he don't get no stripes. You know, fighting those boys, not at all. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it ain't even anything worth talking about. You know, so yeah,
Oh, but the Cash Money reunion is. Nah, I'm joking.
yeah, that was great. That was great. I'm glad it happened. I was a big fan. You know, Lil Wayne was able to bring them together with the Louisiana Fest. That was awesome.
Word, word, word. Um, I pretty much thought the same thing too. Let's see here.
Oh, shit. Mic check, mic check. You still got me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Yep. So it's a go. So yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't never really a big Hot Boy fan. As a matter of fact, I thought they were more, on the weaker side of rap back in the day.
Oh my God, Frank, come on now. So you wasn't blasting no bling bling. We on fire. I need a hot girl. None of that.
No, I literally was not. None of it.
None at all.
What was out? When they was popping.
Well, they came out around like what the late 90s, early
Mhm.
2000s. So whoever was popping in that time, but I think it was also a regional thing too. Because if you was in the South, Midwest and the South, then that's all you blasted. Was
Right.
was Cash Money, No Limit, Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Luke, anything 8 Ball, MJG. So I can't say it was a more regional thing. And of course, some of the songs that did go commercial, I'm sure you heard them on the West Coast as well.
Of course, like that's what I was thinking when I was watching it. Because I did check it out. It's a monumental occasion. For music, for hip hop, especially for the region like you're talking about. But I looked at it and I recognized every song that they performed.
Okay.
What did they perform? Let me see. We got the set list right here.
They pretty much
We on
they did-
fire.
they
They
did-
came out to We on Fire. Then Rich Niggas.
came out
That's
to,
Juvenile Men Fresh.
they came out. We on fire. We on fire. Yeah.
And then number 3 was Neighborhood Superstar. Number 4 was Riding. I Need a Hot Girl. Number 5, that's with the Big Timers, of course. Project Bitch, Cash Money Millionaires cover. That's the Big Timers are, of course, Bling
And they ended it off
Bling.
with Back That Ass Up.
And then
They
Back
ended it off
That
with
Ass Up.
Up.
So it
Yeah.
was definitely a dope set list. I recognized every single cut that they performed. I was like, that's
Yeah. I honestly, man, it was, and like people who did attend it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to attend it. I wish I was there, but you could feel the energy even through the TV screen, your computer screen. It was even when they came out, We on Fire, and they all came as a group.
yeah.
You could just hear the because they performed at the Smoothie King Arena in New Orleans. You can just hear the crowd just go crazy, straight pandemonium. So I was like, man, just
And
feel
people
like
in the
energy.
building, people
Yeah,
people
it's
telling
like
stories from in the building, they talking about it was like energetic, like and it
it
hit
was.
like the pop out, like
Yes,
Kendrick Lamar's pop out
exactly.
shit.
It was the same feeling as Kendrick Lamar's pop out. It's the same feeling you had at the Louisiana Fest with the Hot Boys on stage together. You know what I mean? It was straight pandemonium, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And everybody who was a fan of Cash Money, in the late '90s and early 2000s, they all enjoyed it as well. So it's like, man, it was dope because for a minute I didn't think they was gonna get it together because you had so much back and forth between two of the members, Turk and BG, and so the fans are like, man, can y'all just get it together and and do it for the fans, So it was perfect timing when Lil Wayne announced the Louisiana Fest, and that was gonna be the official Hot Boy reunion. So
People thought they were gonna get together at Essence Fest, but it didn't happen.
exactly,
The
it didn't
Big
turn out that
Timers
way.
and they all performed, but Wayne didn't perform with them.
Exactly, which was a little weird. That threw people off though. So, you know, from let me get your opinion from that perspective. Was it like, I don't think this is gonna happen because you got Lil Wayne performing his own set, you know, BG and Juvie, they coming out, they doing their own thing, and they kind of come out on each other's sets. But you kind of see Lil Wayne, you know, off doing his own thing, you know, and then what Birdman said, you know, about, you know, and we all know what he said on the Essence Fest stage, and everybody assumed that was going towards Lil Wayne, you know, and we didn't see Turk either at the Essence Fest on stage. So
I think I didn't really have any thought of it happening or not. Again, it just wasn't really on my radar. I know.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody in the fans and them for doing it for fans and
Well,
you know, for whatever reason they had to do it.
I'll say as a fan, as a fan of Cash Money and the Hot Boys, I didn't think it was going to happen. Because everyone assumed it was going to be at the Essence Festival. That was going to be the original, like we finally getting together and showing the world, hey, there's going to be a reunion, you know, and this is where we're going to do it at Essence Festival.
So Jay, what's your favorite Cash Money song or Hot Boy song?
Oh man, where do I start? Of course,
they had hits. I won't deny it wasn't my thing, but they had hits.
Yeah, they had hits. It was crazy because, and you asked me what my favorite Hot Boy song was. It's so many of them. You know, I can definitely say "We on Fire," and you could tell that was a favorite of everybody at the reunion at the Louisiana Fest, because when that song came on, it's like the whole crowd went crazy, you know, and you could just hear him in the background, the hot boys, you know. So that was definitely one of my favorite. Of course, I Need a Hot Girl, Bling Bling, shit, and then the solo projects too, you know, from BG to Juvie to Turk, Wayne, they had hits on their own as well. You know.
Okay. Who was your favorite and who's your favorite now?
Let's see. My favorite, I knew, you know what? I knew Wayne was gonna be a star. When he was 16 and he was the youngest and he was just killing them, you know, especially with his lyrics back then. I knew he was gonna be a star. And he was one of my favorites. BG was one of my favorites as well. Turk, he didn't really have a lot of material. He didn't have a lot of music out. He only had one album. And you know, then he was, you know, incarcerated most of the time. And of course, Juvie. But overall, my favorite, I guess, would have to be BG. Yeah. I remember going to New Orleans, you know, back in the 90s, early, you know, late 90s. And I'm a BG, you know, when you turn on the radio stations in New Orleans, it was BG. Everybody was bumping that BG, that Chopper City. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you was there in New Orleans at that time, BG had it on lock.
I think he was my favorite, you know, even though I wasn't partial to them at all. I don't, you know, I don't want to say that again, I'm not ever saying they were whack. It just wasn't really my thing at all.
Yeah.
And it's still not, you know. But BG, he was always my favorite.
Yeah, he was a lot.
His style, his rhyming,
his rapping style, you know, just his charisma and the things he was talking about. You know, he was a lot of people's favorites, as well as Lil Wayne. Some people say, well, Lil Wayne was my favorite, but it also depends on what generation you grew up in. You know what I mean? Because Lil Wayne can't have it on lock like in the early mid 2000s. It was all about Wayne.
So yes, second half of the question: who's your favorite now?
I don't know. After the Send That reunion, man, and Turk has some hard line. He has some hard verses though. I ain't gonna lie. Turk has some hard verses. Like people were sleeping on Turk, but at the reunion, you seen some of the verses he had on different songs. I'm like, damn, Turk was pretty. He had some shit. You know, I just hate that he didn't get to put out enough music though, like everybody else did. Right. You know, but you know, it's kind of a toss up. It's a toss up, Frank. You know, I like all of them, man. I just want to see them all come together, and I just want to see this tour. I hope we can get this tour. You know, if we can't get it in 2024, 25, hopefully. What do you think?
Of course, they're not reuniting, you know, to not do something, but
Yeah.
you know, nobody
This-
really knows what's going on. You know,
but-
legend has it that Wayne brought it all together.
Yeah,
Wayne
thank
brought
God.
it all.
and hats off to Lil Wayne for making that possible, because and he did the right thing though. He did the right thing. It was perfect because you know he has a Little Louisiana Fest every year. It's an annual thing, and that was perfect to bring everybody together on that stage. And they seem like, damn. I know in their minds they like, yo, we got to bring this tour together. We got to. Look at the fans just going crazy for us. And then, you know, of course, the videos went viral after the show. It went viral.
Did you see the video of them doing the rehearsal?
Yeah, the rehearsal, them actually performing on stage. So you know them promoters is blowing their lines up. And them promoters is definitely, you know, trying to get them booked. So I wouldn't doubt within a few months, you know, we're gonna see a schedule of a multi-city tour.
Word.
You know, coming soon, because it's the fans want it. The fans want it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
it only sounds right. Let's check out this article we got here. We got a Billboard article loaded up. It's by Mitchell Peters. It was published yesterday. Billboard: Lil Wayne reunites Hot Boys in 2024 Louisiana Festival in New Orleans. The long-awaited reunion of the Hot Boys is finally taking place on Saturday, November 2nd. The iconic rap supergroup featuring Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Turk, and BG performed together for the first time in over 15 years at Louisiana Fest in New Orleans. That's a long time. Why did they break up? Why did they stop? You know,
well, it was different. It was different reason. You know, one of them was money, and you know, royalties and different things like that.
Usually is with these groups.
Yeah. And then you know, some of the members getting locked up. You know what I mean? So of course that had a big effect on the group as well. So it was different components of why they split up. But you know, like they said, it's been over 15 years. So and BG just came home recently, and that was kind of like the missing link. He was waiting on him to you know, come home after being incarcerated for so many years. And
he's been getting a lot of love too. They said the place went nuts when he jumped out.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of love, a lot of support too. You know, so that's really, really good to see. You know, so it's just a good time for it. It's needed. It's needed.
It sucks that they, you know, ever broke up, you know. But I mean, them poor dudes, like, and then Lil Wayne being who he is, did Hot Boy fans expect them to stay together? Like, really?
Well, you know, it happens in hip hop. How many groups you know in hip hop don't split up? Most groups in hip hop split up. It's only a few that still stick it out. It's only a few that really sticks it out and really have a solid bond. You know, first off,
shout out to them too.
Huh?
Shout out to them too. You know, the Locks is the poster child for that right now nowadays.
Yeah.
Moving on with Mitchell's words here, the group's 22-minute set includes songs like "Get Your Roll On." Now, I think that might have been my favorite Hot Boys
song.
Get Your Roll On.
That was a big time song though.
Oh yeah, if I could ever have one, you know. I need it. Huh?
Yeah, that was a big time song. Get Your Roll On.
I Need a Hot Girl, and Neighborhood Superstar, during which the act was joined by Big Timers Manny Fresh and Birdman. Manny Fresh, he always looked weird, but he's just looking really weird on that stage. Shout out to Manny Fresh. The New Orleans Times Picayune reports, watch the performances here at that link. This year's Louisiana Fest also featured solo performances from Juvenile, who brought the house down and backed that ass up, and BG delivered Bling Bling. Yeah, that Bling Bling was a damn cultural phenomenon, yo. They added.
I mean, come on, man, Bling Bling is in the dictionary.
They added it to the dictionary, yo. That took over.
They was very. When I say influential, especially you know in that era that they came out of. You know, you could go anywhere in the country, especially in the South, and see Jabot jeans. You know, soldier rags.
Right.
You know, gold grills.
Huge ass t-shirts. The 3X t-shirts.
On
double X,
the triple X white tees. Exactly. So
Let's go.
anywhere you go to in the South, whether it was Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, Houston, Texas, Florida, they had influence in many of those markets.
Yeah.
You know,
And it extended to the West too. It extended
it
over
did.
there, It was
Yeah.
always on their own thing. One of my
You got
closest homeboys,
a lot
like,
of
kind
people
of
coming
got
on the West Coast that enjoy
on that
their
tip.
music. Exactly. Exactly.
And
So
it was high school for me. It was
yeah.
into right out of high school. He's talking about this next during the solo performance. Lil Wayne once again spoke about being snubbed for the Super Bowl halftime show, expressing his
What was your thoughts
disappointment
on that?
and being
What was your
overlooked in
thoughts
favor
on
of
that?
Kendrick Lamar.
Let me get your honest opinion, because there's been a lot of talks about the whole halftime show at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Do you think it was right that they selected Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne? Now, mind you, Kendrick Lamar already performed at a Super Bowl in LA.
Yeah,
Right?
he didn't headline, but he performed.
He performed.
Yeah.
But in New Orleans, you think that was right for them to select Kendrick Lamar over Lil Wayne?
Well, I mean, yeah, but
Why?
I'd have thought it was right the other way around too. I just don't see, why it should be an issue. Honestly, the fact that it's this issue, it should have just fucking chose a rock star or somebody, or some hot R&B artists or R&B, some hot pop artists from New Orleans or something.
I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree with you, Frank. I gotta disagree, man.
Well, again, let me cook. I just it doesn't seem like that big of an issue to me. Now Kendrick, he has had the biggest year in hip hop this year.
Right.
Pretty much, the biggest year in hip hop in a long time. Honestly,
yeah,
it's just nuts that if there's going to be an act that it's not him, I don't understand why people are up in arms about it. But I also agree that, hey, it's Lil Wayne shit. It should be, he should be able to rock that. And if now's the time, who knows when the next time the Super Bowl will be in New Orleans? Like, why not, throw him up there? And there's all kind of talk behind the scenes about it's really a snub by Jay-Z, because and everything. But again, if this is where it's taking us, they should have just, who's from New Orleans? Go ahead. I'm gonna just look up some artists that I feel could possibly do it, if there is any.
In New Orleans, who could headline the Super Bowl? Nah, I gotta be Lil Wayne, man. And then on top of that, he just recently received the key to the city too. So receiving the key to the city and having, the Louisiana Fest, the Hot Boy reunion, and then get to perform at the Super Bowl as a headline. Come on now. It don't get no better than that.
Again, I hear you, and it feels like it.
And I get it when they talk about, from a business standpoint. Well, okay, like Kendrick had a great year. He had the pop up, which did really well. He had one of the hottest songs, of the year. So I get it from that standpoint. But when we talk about people hometown, and someone like Lil Wayne, who's been around for a while, and he's a major star as well. I just think it's only right, give him that.
And of the people that I'm seeing alive, from New Orleans, I'm not seeing anybody that is.
Lil Wayne is the best choice. Like, it's no one, in my opinion, there's no one in New Orleans who has a much bigger career than Lil Wayne has. And you have quite a few artists in New Orleans, that's really dope. From Currency to who else? I can't think of, but you got a lot of dope artists from New Orleans, that came out, but nobody's had a bigger career as Lil Wayne has, and this is in his city, so it's only right.
Lil Wayne was one of New Orleans' early rap pioneers as part of the Hot Boys on Cash Money Records. He later became a superstar in his own right and has since nurtured a new generation of artists through Young Money Entertainment, the label he founded. I mean, that was, a quick blurb. But
Right.
I think you're absolutely right. There's nobody else who
Nah.
it could be. You know, you
But
might have sold me on it.
but he
I
all
still kind of just don't see the big
let me
deal.
put this out here too. He also got a lot of backlash too, because of course there's been different people on different podcasts and things like that, and different people saying, you know, he Lil Wayne is not it anymore. He's on drugs and he don't sound the same. You know, his voice is gone. His voice sounds like trash. You know,
It
and
do.
people
He
mocking him and things like
yeah.
that. What do you think about that when people have those
It,
negative things to
it,
say?
it, it looks like a duck. It sounds like a duck. You know, I don't know, but you know, I don't want to have that opinion about one of our legends. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I started. You know, again, I didn't like the Hot Boys. I don't
Well,
want
that's
to
because
call
you're from
them
the
whack,
West
but
Coast,
back
though.
in the day, I
That's
used to call them whack,
because
and I
you're from the
thought they were.
yeah,
Now,
but
once Lil Wayne started his solo run, I immediately saw that he stepped his game up from here to
you
here.
can't deny it. You can't
So I'm
deny
not
it.
talking about Lil Wayne, you know, especially in this day and age,
Yeah,
like that. Like, if it is, hell, ain't it? Ain't all of them like that? Shit, I don't give a fuck. And
yeah,
he's doing things like this, bringing the Hot Boys back together after so many years. You know, still
yeah,
doing his thing. Like, I don't see what people have to complain about. Um,
yeah,
Give him criticism, but that, you know, that's what it is. Especially, and we all on the internet, so people gonna talk whatever they want,
yeah.
however they want. What do you say? He said about that. I told myself I wanted to be on that stage in front of my mom, and I worked my ass off of that position. It was ripped away from me. But this moment right here, they can't take this away from me. The rapper told the crowd at the Smoothie King Center
Hmm.
at the Louisiana Fest. So what?
They
That's
can't.
straight up and down. I mean, if he feels that way, I guess what is that? His truth, or you know, if that's the truth,
No, you
then
can't. They can't take that away. That was historical.
oh yeah, I'm not talking
Historical.
about that. I'm talking about the Super Bowl being ripped away
Super
from him.
Bowl. Yeah, yeah. I agree with him. I agree. You know, let him have let him have his moment. Why not?
He
It's
did
not gonna
work his
take it
ass
away.
off for it.
Yeah. I mean, they can even bring. Let's just say they headline. They let Lil Wayne headline, right? And they do a surprise guest with Kendrick Lamar, and he come out and perform, not like us, right? That still would be good too. If they really want Kendrick Lamar to perform,
Yeah,
they could do
they
both.
really do. I mean, he's having the biggest year again.
And you know, they still might. They still might, and we might not even know it. Behind the
What?
scenes, they might already have Lil Wayne coming out as a surprise guest. You never know. Especially with all this talk going on in the media right now.
Well, I mean, does that comment sound like it? He says it was ripped away from him, and
Yes, but he wanted look. I hear what Lil Wayne is talking about. He wanted to headline it. You know what I mean? Just like Dre and Snoop headline, you know, the Super Bowl in L.A. You know what I mean? So he won't headline it. That's his city. So, and I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. You know.
New Orleans is a great place, man. And shout out to everybody who's going to attend the Super Bowl and get to see that performance.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all tap in to be a correspondent with the rap scene. We got Jay in the building. Y'all don't see him much, but he is a big reason why the rap scene runs.
Yeah.
Oh, he does his thing. We're not gonna say what it is because it's kind of a little bit of everything. But
So let me
he's
say this. Let me say this, Frank, before we sign off. So if the Hot Boys reunion show come to a city near you, you gonna attend? You gonna go?
I mean,
Huh?
why not? It'll be great for content. You know, I I think you know the closest they'll get to me is about 200 miles away, two
That's
hundred
it.
300 miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, they don't really come to these regions. Not damn, nobody does. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
But it's gonna be. I hope it happens. I know it's gonna happen. It's too much money out there for them. They know that too. You know what I mean? So it's definitely gonna happen. We
Well, I
just
mean,
don't know
I'll
when
make that
yet.
drive if it's that big enough. You know, if you let's you know, work our magic in and see what we can do. You know, and get in there and
Exactly.
represent the rap
Ex-
scene.
Exactly.
But I mean,
Exactly.
they touching out there. You going to attend?
Of course. I definitely will attend. When I saw it on TV, I was like, damn, I wish I could have been there. You know what I'm saying? And there's many more like me who's saying the same thing. But it was a special moment just to see them all four together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad. And I hope. I don't want to put nothing negative out there, but you could kind of tell Turk and BG wasn't, but I hope over a period of time, if they do go on the road, they can just come back, be as close as they once were. You know what I'm saying?
I caught a moment at the end when it looked like Manny Fresh kind of wasn't fucking with him. He like ran off back, and they gathered up and was like, introduced themselves.
But I'm saying, and I think he did the right thing. You seen that
and then
viral
they all left separate. They all left the stage separately.
Yeah. But you seen that picture that went viral too, though, right? With them all hugging each other. You seen that picture?
No, I didn't. Hold up.
It's everywhere. So the picture of them on stage with all four of them.
It's not really coming up, man. Or at least I'm not finding anything.
But yeah. So it reminds me of that picture that Kendrick Lamar took at the Forum. Not the Forum, but the Staples, not the Staples Center, but damn, you know what I'm talking about. At the Pop Out. At the
Pop Out was at the Forum.
At the Forum. But they call it but at the Forum, no.
I believe it's the Kia Forum now, isn't it? It's the Kia Forum.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was the Great Western Forum.
It's always gonna be the Forum to me. I don't care what nobody says. But it reminds me
still call it the Forum.
It reminds me of that moment of Kendrick Lamar had everybody on stage and they all posted up with each other. That reminds me of the Hot Boy reunion, the picture they took. That's going viral. So same type of energy,
Yeah, there's been tons and tons. Like if those walls could talk, man, there was so many beautiful music moments in that building. I don't know how many people I've seen at the goddamn Forum.
Yeah.
That's word up, man. Well, what you getting into right now?
Nothing, man. Just trying to soak it all in from this high. You know what I mean? Seeing the Hot Boys coming together. You know what I mean? That's been the talk of the town for everybody, especially on the internet. So it was great seeing that. Hopefully, like I say, we'll get that official tour, that multi-city tour, and everybody can see it for themselves, in a city near you. So that's what we counting on as fans. And I'm sure, 2024 is almost over. So I'm assuming it'll probably be 2025, of course. It's just putting everything together, and so yeah. So pretty much that's all I got.
I just got my new blue.
Oh man,
boy.
Dodgers, huh?
Boys.
Man,
gotta get one every time. Yeah, every time we rock.
I thought they was gonna take it to Game 7, man. What happened?
Come on.
What happened, man?
Not this year.
Not this year.
No.
They gonna kill Game 5.
They gonna hope.
Oh my God, man! A true LA native, man. I gotta get off this line with you, man.
We rock, man. Hold up. Let me throw. Hold up. All right, man. We've been on for a minute. We're gonna wrap it up here. Tell everybody what's coming up next for you, Jay.
Definitely. Just keep tuning into the rap scene. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep coming with some dope content. Definitely keep up with Frank5D. He's gonna keep you in the know of what's coming on with news, whatever. He's gonna keep you updated. So just stay tuned. Got a lot on the way.
You know what it is, man. It's therapscene.com. I am Frank5D, the anomaly sworn solemnly. Hi, Snobbity. Jay,
peace.
Thanks for coming on. Everybody, we want to urge you whenever you watch this, don't be so disjointed or dejected by whatever the result of the election is. All right, we still got to we still gotta love each other. Honestly, we still gotta figure out how to work together
Hey,
in this thing.
you pretty much already telling me who already you already telling me who already gonna win then.
Oh no, man! I'm not being facetious. I'm not joking around. I'm being real, honestly, because everybody, you're probably gonna be done voted by the time you watch this. So just don't be disjointed or dejected or mad or anything. Like, of course,
Nah, I'm not.
we all
I'm
want
feeling-
somebody to win. We all want somebody to win, and that should be
Yeah.
ourselves. And may we all win is what I was trying to get at.
Okay. I rock
Honestly,
with that too.
there was no joke in this, man. Whatever happens, don't feel like you can't love your neighbor because of whoever they voted.
Of course.
Don't feel like you can't work alongside with somebody because you know they voted for this person. Don't feel like just
And
because
that's-
you know
what?
somebody voted for this other person
I
that
agree
you
with that.
can't agree with anything that they have to
I
say.
agree with that 100%, and that's for just anybody out there, period. Because, like I say, when you talk about politics, it could be a little touchy feely for some people.
Straight up and down.
Falling out, people falling out of relationships, family members not talking to each other. So, what you're saying is I agree with. You know what I mean? Don't take it so serious.
Yeah, it's got to be that way, man. Because
what's going to be is going to be.
Even the most worldly of us live in our own bubbles,
Yeah.
So let's not make that all there is. Let's realize that there's other things going on, and that we just have to do our part to make everything better.
Yeah, it always start with us. It always start with us. But as on that note, Frank, peace, my brother, and we got to do this again soon.
We got it real soon. Thanks, Jay. Positive energy activates constant elevation.